Hello everyone, a new day, a new victory. I'm gonna start doing different outros because I was thinking about the one I was using and it's not. It is working, but it's not. Whatever. Anyway, tonight we are playing Ghostwire Tokyo, the Prelude. If there is a Prelude released for a game, I always feel like it's important for context, and it's kind of a visual novel. I guess I'm on a visual novel kick here lately, and you know what, that's okay. But yeah, this is going to be leading up to me starting to release my Ghostwire Tokyo series. It is an extremely fun game, but it's a cute little thing. It'll give context, but first I'm laughing at myself for how god awful cringy the thumbnail is, and I know you guys are gonna see the thumbnail when you click on the show, but still, we're gonna here we go. Do you guys see this? Do you see this cringe? I am laughing at myself. I got nothing better though. I wish I was more creative, and I'm hoping that as I go along, I will get more creative. But this is the best I can. I'm sorry. To the artist that drew these, I am so sorry to ruin it like this. Anyway, I had to. I'm a funny and I'm an interesting person, I promise. There we go. Oh dear. Okay. Yes, photosensitivity warning right there. Thank you, game. I'm gonna forget that moment of cringe. And yet it's immortalized on YouTube. It's okay. Look at my guitar pick. I like my guitar pick. I actually have many of these. I don't know where any of them are, except for this one. You are the chosen one. My beautiful rainbow guitar pick. You are the chosen one. Oh. It was waiting on me. Oh wait. Yeah. There. Oh Lord Jesus. It's loud. It's loud. Okay. I think. There we go. We went a little quieter than I am. I think. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't want to hear me talk. Maybe I should just do the silent play. Nah, I don't think so. If you're here to watch me, you're gonna listen to me talk. Okay. New game. Rinko. God damn it, Rinko! Erica? I should probably do voices for these folks.
No one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anyone's mind these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How is a kid supposed to be a kid at a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day.
Oh, this is a narration now. Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's called The Kiriguaka Vanishing. He reads it to himself the best he can. I'm so sorry if I completely just butchered that. Because I My brain flipped the O and the A. Having tracked another report of dark fog near the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found were clothes of a mother and son, left behind like two molten cicada shells. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone, precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank knowing I had failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down. Heavier and heavier it fell with each passing minute, but I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime, a group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my utter wrath kept me going.
Hey, that's like me at work. I'm fueled by caffeine and rage.
As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Unable to shake the idea the monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called the Marunouchi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Marunouchi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area. Then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. Everybody kept telling me about folks just up and disappearing, and I thought it was a load of horseshit. It wasn't until I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. Ever since then, I've been haunted by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. I swear to God, I can talk, read. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of a woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew as long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag. I found the missing lady's ID cards in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear her body had just vanished. No mistaking whose handiwork it was, either. I'd finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can, and do, according to this one. A lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had a feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. Turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. The lady who lived there showed me, and she made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me a play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, so she went to the bathroom to check in on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant, there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bathwater. I rubbed my finger on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky, slime-like substance on it. A reflection of a shrine shone in the water's surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about this incident, to see if things ring any bells. I purged the black stain on the front door and left the seat. Poor lady, what will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. Sorry. I shouldn't apologize. I am apologetically, unapologetically me. In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather, someone. Someone called KK has been looking into monsters in this part of town. A believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie. Never. And that means KK is an expert, maybe the expert in all things paranormal.
There's only one thing left to do.
Having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action.
I'm gonna ask this KK guy to help. Just gotta figure out where he lives first. Sagasu! Dear Mr. Investigator Person.
Adorable. Dear Mr. Investigator Person, hello. How are you? I am not good and I need your help. Monsters got my best friend Sosuke. Rinko sits up in her chair. She's zeroed in on one of a dozen monitors from across a makeshift command center stuffed into this cramped Tokyo apartment. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data flies across the screens, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds and open case files. Somehow, through all of those scenes and all of the clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eye. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism in her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he's involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say, but he holds it back. Technology is easy. People are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer, from where they never return. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate. Though I speak purely out of personal interest, it might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay, so safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend, that you want to look into it. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Eric has been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime him in. And that time is... Want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. Could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously? You still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right not to trust Erica on something dangerous. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica can't quite keep from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our very own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. All right. The stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their noodles. The silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. God damn it! The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. Another case? These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch. Beep. The detective reaches over and presses the ignore button and turns the phone's ringer off entirely. In the beautiful silence, he takes another big of noodles. I might not always be around. Time to see how they do without me. Oh, I didn't know that was a choice. I think he's ignoring my messages. I know he'll never win world's most reliable partner, but this isn't really like him. It's not his style to turn down a job like this, no matter how minor it may seem. He pulls this stuff all the time. Probably fine. If he is involved, it's hard to say what's possible. It could be serious, Ed. I think it's serious, Rinko. A rumor so simple to verify. It's far more likely our friend has already looked into it and dismissed it. After all, the manhole girl legend isn't entirely new. Our energy may be better off elsewhere. You're right. We've got more important things to focus on right now. This time, another social media post pops up and grabs Rinko's attention. Reports of a yokai in the form of a double-tailed cat milling around a local convenience store. Ryota stares at his phone, waiting for a reply, but he doesn't receive one. With no one to help, he doesn't know what to do. The only thing he can do is wait.
Where are you, Mr. KK? My friend is in trouble.
Ryota pulls out his notebook, and he begins to doodle to pass the time. He draws a child in a raincoat under an umbrella. Unless... Ryota stops drawing and suddenly looks up. Someone is approaching from the alley behind his house. Oh! So, I played through this once before, but I didn't realize you could decline the call. Interesting. Okay, so that was one thing I did not realize could happen. Let's see. Continue. We're gonna continue the chapter 1. Show Bishop. Now we're gonna do the green button. Let me guess, I'll be risking life and limb. That's why you let it ring so long? Too scared to pick up? Ha! You know, the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back? Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not fool enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but right now there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena we've been looking into. It's always simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Who should we talk to? Talk to Erica. You get out there, huh, Erica? Chase some thrills. No, not thrill-seeking. It's my duty. I have to help. I don't have a choice. Listen, kid, you always have a choice, but I get it. It's a thing inside that tells us we can make a difference. It's a burden, but it also keeps us going. Why did I choose this voice? You just gotta know when to use it and when to hold it tight. Otherwise, it'll carry you away. I'll never let that happen to me. I won't be like him. What he did, it's unforgivable. I know you won't. Rinko and I would never allow it. You just have to follow our lead. That's your job, huh? Make sure I don't stray too far from the pack? One of my jobs, and I'm damn good at it. Okay. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. With a head, arms, and body, it takes shape. A palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but he clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little fright. Gotta admit, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner without the annoying small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprised himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to the scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now it's time to tell me.
So you really are him, huh?
Gonna have to be more specific, kid.
You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries. Right?
KK? Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media posts featuring photos of various case files he's worked on collected in one place. Look, I only use those initials because writing out my name is a pain, and I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK. But I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You wanted an investigator, kid? Well, you got one.
I'm so glad you're going to look into all the disappearances at the manhole.
Here's the thing. I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid?
It's true, honest. My buddy Sosuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back here.
Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him.
He went down that way. I tried to follow him, but I couldn't find him. He's completely gone.
If Ryota is bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back towards the alley. KK looks back and forth, from the kid, then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. See any fog when that happened, the moment he disappeared?
Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness. But it came and went.
Alright. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going on down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like front page news. Happy, grumpy, happy, grumpy, happy, yeah, happy. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here.
But it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 whole days. Everyone's been looking, but no one can find him.
What about his parents? Have they filed a police report?
I'm the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me. And no one else is even looking for him anymore. Just me.
He's lucky to have you.
It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of the cases you investigated. You knew there was more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sosuke's disappearance. I just need your help.
Really did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of my friend Erica. She lost someone too, and she'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where this Sosuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up.
So you're gonna look into it?
I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. I just need a quick word with one of yous to follow up on what the kid has told me. Let's go with Erica. Erica, you're a natural when it comes to intuition. What does your gut tell you? I can feel something out there for sure. Something that threatens good people. Something that he would embrace. The details aren't clear. I can only see the shadows of a vision. But that's not important. I know it's him. I know we need to act. Right now, nothing else matters. We can't let another child disappear, another family get torn apart. You need to help him. There's still time. You know, kid, you're stronger than you have any right to be. And you got the scars to prove it. If we don't look out for people like Ryota and Sosuke, who will? This is our mission. Ryota, it's time to find Sosuke. Woo! Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches his hand out. He's not holding on to anything, but you would think that, by the way he's moving, he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down onto the ground. It ripples like water in a small pond, energy flowing outward into the world. Neat? A strange trail floats into view, as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eye line down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary.
What happened? I don't see anything.
Trust me, kid, it's good you can't see it. This is a power you don't want. And you're too young for it. Take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're gonna find your friend and get you back to your life.
KK and Rinko are in big trouble this time, running like rats desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and...
monsters.
We'd better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain.
Damn, it's happening again.
Your body's reacting to the ether. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further.
Another hallucination. The world's breaking in two.
That'd be crystallized ether. Another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity.
Yeah.
From the thin air, like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear, surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. Boo, 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 boo.
Mr. KK? Are you okay?
Huh, sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control.
Just kind of stood there for a little while.
Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight. I won't be long.
A report on Rinko's computer setup flashes on the screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear. Spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location.
What is it now?
We just received an alert. There was a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send a report.
Can't wait forever for you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Remember, saving more lives is the only thing that matters. Erica feels it. I feel it. Hell, you don't need an infinity to know that life is circling the drain out there. Fighting back's all we got.
I want to be there and help you myself, but I understand why you can't wait any longer. But just know you're my inspiration to keep going, like you did. Do. Erica, inspiration can get you killed if you're not careful. Passion is nothing without strategy. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use our own words against us when you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case.
Edward?
The hunger I have to solve this case is as good as any science experiment you could conduct to get to the bottom of it. Ed, how many times have my instincts been proven right by all your high-tech gadgetry?
That's not something I keep tally of. The purpose of my work isn't to prove you right. But it happens all the time. I'm out in the streets, pressing into darkness, trusting my instincts. I can't be waiting for you all to download a software update. I feel like you're trivializing my work quite a bit. Of course, I'm extremely thankful when I can assist you, but my primary goal as a scientist and a paranormal investigator is much greater than any individual day-to-day goals. And that's exactly my point. We all need to focus on what we do best, and what I do best is not wait around. We can all agree that you're no good at that. I must say, I quite admire your grit, and I do not envy the stress that a city life Tokyo must place on a detective who just wants to do his job. However, I would remind you, in nature, a lone wolf typically isn't alone for long. They are alone only until they find a new pack or become prey themselves. That may be factually correct, but sure as hell takes the coolness out of it. I can't disagree with that. Just try and act cool, in the most responsible way possible. Our pack is stronger with you in it. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. He never was any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realize that? Erica smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Oh, interesting. Damn, they're everywhere. KK's eyes dart between the two horrific figures, and to some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Ringo, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of these ether crystals? Oh my god. Thought there was someone on my stairs. Whew. Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who can say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods silently. After getting his answer, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out towards the crystals. Wait, stop! Stopping's not an option, not for either of us. You don't know what will happen. It could kill you. And those things won't. We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters, same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko can say anything else, KK reaches all the way out and... blink! Tinkle, 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 tinkle. Okay. Interesting. That's fun. KK follows the trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alley, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him to a manhole cover where the spirit residue flashes with an eerie intensity. This spot is clearly the origin point for whatever spirit is at the center of all this misery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around again and, finding nothing, focuses attention on the haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in this dark, dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. Jibakure. According to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre, what's keeping you tied down here? The Spectre seems unable to answer. Instead, he mutters, as if distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Spectres aren't especially concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know, what are you doing here, specifically at this manhole cover? Why haunt this place? I thought I was a kid. Just a kid playing around, having fun, alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So just being neighborly, eh? Yes, no, not making friend, protecting. But it wasn't a kid though, was it? There was something else, something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. What was it? Monster? A monster? The Spectre points downwards. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole as though he just
looks hard enough, he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath this cover. He doesn't have to see the specter nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the manhole cover and see for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway.
Did you find anything?
Snooping around his detective business. You don't belong back here.
I thought I heard you talking to someone.
Who is this youngster?
Only I can hear you, so don't bother.
Oh, you can hear me? Well, sure, nobody else is even here.
This is turning into a damn clown show. Kid, I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you down there.
Not safe. Not safe. Monster.
But you know, I'll be safe up here.
My team's one call away. They'll get here real quick if you're in danger.
Weren't you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone?
Funny you should mention that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it client services.
Who do you call it, mister? Are they nice like you? Or nicer?
Client services. Sounds more like babysitting to me. If only you would just wait for us to get there.
We play the hand we're dealt, and juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support.
Rinko sighs. A long, tired sigh of a frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She'll always help him, just as he will always help her.
And I have the perfect candidate in mind.
Erika.
Erica. She's the only kid I actually know and like it anymore.
Hey, KK, you need my help? I can be there ASAP.
I do need your help, but it can't wait. My new friend, Ryota, the one who called us for help.
Is he a little afraid of you?
What? No, why would you think that? I mean, yeah, maybe a little. But no, that's not it. Although it'd be better if he did fear me, that I could do my work.
Okay. Oh, hey. Yeah, you aren't really that scary. I think I get it. Let me talk to him. KK hands the phone to Ryota and motions for him to accept this call.
Yes?
Is this Mr. Ryota?
Yes.
I'm so excited that I get to speak with you. I've heard that you are quite the investigator. I need help from someone like you.
What could I do to help you?
Well, our friend who is there with you, he actually has 2 missions. Since he is looking for your friend, maybe you could swap and look for my friend. If we share the responsibility, I'm sure we can achieve success together as a team.
I suppose I could try to help you, since he is helping me.
Okay, but first, can you keep a secret? It's very important and related to this mission.
Yes, I'm the best at secrets. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's true.
My friend is a cat. I put a tracker on her collar and that says she's nearby you in the alley by your house. I miss her dearly. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but some of my best friends are animals.
Your secret is safe with me. What does she look like?
She's all black with one white spot and a few white whiskers. Her name is Monet, like the painter, and she really likes to hide. Can you look closely in between and behind all the vending machines and trash cans? Just to be safe, text me a picture of every dark corner you can find. She's very good at camouflage and easy to miss.
I'll find your friend.
Ryota hands the phone back to KK and turns his attention to the nearest trash can. Phone out, he seems to be inspecting each side of it. Lucky for you, your new buddy is an animal lover, just like me. I've given him a rescue mission to find a missing cat and send me a photo of it.
But what if he succeeds? Tons of strays here. He might actually bump into one.
I could always use more cat pics texted to me, and maybe he'll give it a home that it needs. Win-win.
Now to get down there and find your pal, Sosuke.
This'll be fun. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of the Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, it's not darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic, paranormal waste coats the ground and plugs the drains. Ew! But the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way.
How long has it been building up, right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere?
As KK goes deeper, the Kagare only increases.
There's definitely something here if there's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can't handle, though.
Alone in the darkness, KK summons his power and... Let's see. Oh, I can use my controller? I can use my controller. Okay. Maybe not. Oh, okay. I do not do straight lines well. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state.
That's better, minus the stink.
With the Kagare now cleared, as if they were waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears.
Sosuke, is that you?
The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Splish, splash, splish, splash.
Hey, you, kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something?
Take a bath, take a bath.
Come on, kid, this isn't the time or place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you, but you gotta work with me here.
In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sound of KK's phone suddenly rings out, the tinny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied.
I'm close. I found Sosuke, but I'm worried he won't...
Muffled sounds. Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds and struggles to make out what words they might be forming.
Hello, is anybody there? Rinko, is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? Rinko, can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him, was Sosuke wearing a yellow raincoat?
The scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand.
Sosuke?
It's about Sosuke.
Not.
Rinko, I can't understand. Sosuke's not what?
Not Sosuke.
The call cuts out. The phone's going dead in KK's hand.
Damn. And us scrolling around. Sosuke!
Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with dead, evil eyes.
You're not Sosuke, you're the monster.
KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered that day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching the ether crystal.
Ever heard of ethereal weaving monster?
Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel. And in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see the monster, this raincoat visitor. Just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth and...
Oh!
At a stranger's fingertips lie KK, now a prisoner. I need my subject to remain calm or nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare.
You son of a bitch.
Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it to his hand. In his hand. An amulet, though clearly not simply for decoration. It surges with power. He looks from the amulet back to KK and smiles. As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness.
Running away, huh?
But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space for two much larger, far more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK.
I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards.
One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks. The umbrella visitors are frozen in place. Only one stun talisman is left. One umbrella visitor is injured. The umbrella visitor awakens from the stun. A barrier appears in front of KK. An umbrella visitor attacks, but its attack is deflected by the barrier. The barrier is broken. Okay, come on. One umbrella visitor is injured. An umbrella visitor attacks.
Stun!
The umbrella visitors are frozen in place. You have no more stun talismans. One umbrella visitor is injured.
You're done.
Bink! The fight is now over. The sewer is oddly calm again. KK sweeps the space, looking for any clues that may be left behind.
Why would a pack of monsters manifest their evil here? It stinks.
But then he sees it, affixed to one wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kifuda.
This must be what summoned those things.
KK reaches out to take the kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it,
Rinko. God damn it, Rinko. Erica.
KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. And he looks up. Kiki sees a man wearing a mask.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
The fuck? Nothing I said sounded like Alexa. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanya mask.
You're...
As KK comes to, he realizes that he's in the tunnel once again. No, still. He looks at his chest and it's totally fine. No gaping hole, not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavily, his mind races. It was a horrible dream. Maybe a vision? He grips the kifuda in his hand.
I won't let him get away with this.
So hard that it smashes into pieces. At that moment, KK realizes he's not actually alone. Distracted by his fury, he had missed the approach of someone new.
Who's there?
Surprised, he spins to face this entity, but before he can raise his other hand,
Ah!
KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of the team.
You made it.
Of course I did. Hope you weren't too worried. It's good to see you at the welcoming party.
It's embarrassing to admit it, but I was actually starting to get a little worried. Rinko and Ed's monitoring system went off the charts. All kinds of activity around here. And then we got here and you were gone and didn't come right back up. It was a long few minutes of trying to play it cool. If I lost you, what would I have left? Not very much, I'm afraid.
There are plenty of things in your life more worthy than me.
That's just it, I guess. I am being selfish, I think. When I see you, when I think about everything you've been through, I know that we're similar people, except you're much stronger. If you didn't survive, how would I ever? Maybe we're not totally the same on the surface or whatever, not at all the same.
but the loss that you've experienced deep down. If anyone could possibly understand, it's you. Please, Erica, don't focus on me. Sure, I came back this time, but it could have gone the other way. It's hard to explain to someone young like you, who's been through so much, but has their whole life ahead of them. You've got to live for yourself. Can't help anyone else's situation till you get control of your own. I know your heart. It may be broken with what your father did to your family. And I'll never forgive him. But those broken pieces are in the right place. You need to be strong for yourself. Then you can stand beside me and Rinko and Ed. And we can put our lives on the line for the people we love together. And even then, things are going to be fine. Just you wait and see. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama, his young client, Ryota. You were never going to tell me, were you? Sosuke isn't your best friend, he's your dog.
He's my dog and my best friend.
KK steps back nervously as Sosuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh, calm down. He just wants his pet. He just wants to be pet. Geez, who would have thought that such a tough-as-nails former detective would have such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, all right?
Don't be scared. Sosuke loves everyone.
Maybe you should draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer.
Ryota hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless this little dog is, but still keeps some distance.
Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK.
Mr. KK? What an adorable alias. When exactly did you start going by this new short nickname, KK? I suppose it has a fun ring to it. Not so formal as your full name. Before we get too sidetracked, as the lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK.
Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out all these damn forms.
It's obvious that you prefer the fighting to the paperwork. KK scribbles out a few quick lines, and only Ed can read them.
Hey kid, this is for you.
Is it a prize for helping you find that ghost?
Almost. It's the bill.
Ryota. Oh, no. Ryota's face sinks as he's left holding the check. Oh, no.
Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now.
Ryota closely looks at the paper in his hand. It says, "The case of the cursed manhole extermination complete. KK." Leaning in over his shoulder, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you.
There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've got any use for a real name these days. And definitely not one of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me so long as I find that bastard.
KK's gaze looks fierce, as though he's recalling a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota, who now looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in response.
That said, I guess KK's not so bad.
And that, dear friends, the actual playthrough itself is fun. I hope you do not hear my voice when if and when you play it. Please. But I'm really excited to start the journey through Ghostwire Tokyo with you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna work on that ending. I'm gonna just keep it at you are loved, you are important, you and your feelings are valid. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. But yes, thank you folks at Bethesda. This was fun. This was fun. It was fun to voice. Oh my god. You know, it's got to be interesting because I have, I have a partner. I have children. Luckily, I wait till all the children go to bed because I cannot imagine how scarred they would be from their mother just sitting here and jabbering incessantly in different voices. Oh my god. Anyway, all y'all, go seize the day. Again, you are loved. You are important. You and your feelings are valid. And just have a great day. Have a good night.
Bye.